Okay, I just want to say before we get to this video, at least 7 times throughout this video, I sort of go, and now that I realize that I do it, it's like really bothering me. But anyway, because it sort of sounds like my nose is running and I'm like sucking in my snot and swallowing it. I promise that is not the case. I talk so quickly and then I like lose my breath, so I take in a really deep breath before I start talking again. And I don't know, I just go so yeah. That's all I had to say. Okay. This water bottle, I'm drinking 32 ounces of peach green tea. And in my other water bottle, I got water. But this is the water bottle with my little Naruto sticker on it. Love that. Anyway, good morning everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today I will not be complaining. I know, big shocker, stepping out of my comfort zone today. I'm just gonna talk for a little bit, question mark. Actually, I'm gonna talk about my manga, but before that, I had a few silly little things to say. So number one, I put up some more posters. The overarching inspiration for this video was me, I don't want to say coming to the realization because that implies that it happened recently, and it didn't. I came to this realization years ago, but I have a lot of crap, right? And I was going through a lot of my stuff, and I was going through my albums, and I was like, I have so many albums, and I like intentionally buy albums with posters, and then I don't put the posters up. So I was like, I should put some posters up. So I have a few NCT albums. I don't think I have any EXO posters, even though I really like EXO, and I don't have any shiny posters either, but I didn't buy those with posters. So so this is from Shalala. There's my Two Baddies poster that is about to fall down because that was the last poster I put up, and at that point I was tired of taping things. I didn't want my hands to feel sticky anymore. And this one is from Sticker over there. And then this poster and this poster I had printed at Staples. And I don't know why I thought it was gonna be like $2.50 to get a poster printed. Those two posters cost me an arm, leg, and half my right kidney. But I think it was worth it. I love them so much. I feel like, I don't know, it just adds a lot of color. And then like right across from here is my vanity, and it has a huge mirror on it. So like when I'm getting ready in the morning, I see a bunch of color behind me, and I think it's quite cute. And it's like messy, but I don't know, I really appreciate it. And then I have a Naruto poster over here. I was gonna get another Naruto one. Well, I sort of forget about it because it's it's sort of like a strange spot where there's stuff covering it, but like not really. But I do have one. I forget what else I wanted to say. Oh, I wanted to talk about my shirt because I think it's pretty funny. So it's got a few flowers on it, and then there's this fat little bunny down here. But right here, you can't see it on camera for whatever reason. It says, "Hey, for an ugly person, you're not that ugly." And I think that's quite cute. I think that's very endearing. Beautiful message. I either bought this from Holly or she gave it to me back in like, I want to say like 2011, 2012. And I always forget that I have it. I think it's because it has it's a tank top, and I never wear tank tops, but it was in the back of my closet. It's been in the back of my closet since then, and I probably worn it like 5 times since I got it, just because I always forget about it. And that was another reason why I am making this video. So back to me having a lot of crap. I like to think I'm like a level 1 hoarder. I don't get rid of things. I have such a hard time throwing things out. Mostly because I worry that like I'll need it in the future, or that I like tend to like have sentimental values for things that I don't really like need, things that probably shouldn't have any sentimental value, question mark. So like I have a lot of clothes from like 3rd and 4th grade that I had to get rid of. So I went through my closet, and I went through my books the other day. Just because I have a lot of books that I bought from like the school Scholastic Book Fair in I don't even fucking know when. books I never fucking read in the first place. And so I got rid of a bunch of that stuff. But in the process of doing that, I had sort of gone through my room and I was getting rid of a bunch of my stuff. And it was just shocking to me how much like crap that I just own. Like if I like finish like a serum or something, I won't throw the bottle out. My friend bought me like a Gojo, the look-up figures, the ones where they sit like this and they sort of look up at you. And I took Gojo out of the box, but I never threw the box away. She gave that to me for my birthday. That was the end of November. I'm pretty sure she gave it to me before my birthday. So that's just been sitting around in my room for months now. Then I was, cause I have like so much mail. I don't like have a place in my room to put my mail. So I just had like envelopes of stuff everywhere. And I was going through it and I still have like brochures that like colleges sent me that I started getting my junior year of high school. That was in 2020. Like, I just have so much shit. And a lot of that was on my bookshelf. So I was going through my bookshelf also because I keep buying more books. I want to get back into reading, but I also would like to expand my manga collection. So I had to clean off my bookshelf so I can make more room for manga, also just to get rid of a bunch of crap. So yeah, so I thought it would be fun if I talked about my manga collection as of today, because I think it would be cool if I updated it a little bit in the future with other manga that I have, and sort of compare how much my collection has grown a bit. So yeah, some of these are pretty old. I only recently, I mean, I feel like I've accumulated a bit of anime merch over the years. I mean, like as I was going through my closet, I found some like old anime shirts that I used to really like, and then when I sort of fizzled out of my anime phase, they sort of got shoved in the back of my closet and I sort of forgot about them. But as of late, and by late, I'll say like the last 5-6 months, I have slowly but surely been growing out my manga collection. And now I'm like full blown, like I want to collect manga. I think this is really fun, because for a while I was a little iffy about it. I feel like I've sort of talked about this before, but like part of me is really scared that either A, I'll grow up not like manga and like regret buying all the manga that I did, or B, I'll grow up, I'll still be into manga, but like I don't want that to happen because that's embarrassing. But it also scares me that I won't be into manga one day, because I don't know, I've been into anime since I think for longer in my life than I haven't. I'm trying to think. No, that's not true. We're getting there though. Like 3 more years and then I'll have been an anime fan for longer than I haven't. And I don't know, I've just been like an anime fan for a while now, and so just the thought of not being into it anymore is pretty scary. But I'm also like, I don't know, I don't think I should be a 40-year-old into anime, but it's also like there's nothing wrong with that, you know what I mean? Like it's just a strange mindset to have. And then like as I was going through my stuff and I was thinking about it, like I have my Dork Diaries books that I bought in 3rd grade, maybe like 2nd or 4th, and I will never get rid of them. I'm never gonna get rid of them. I still have all like 10 of them, I think I have. I kept my Percy Jackson books, I kept my Maze Runner books, and I'm like, I'd be a fucking idiot to throw my Maze Runner books out. And then I was thinking about it, and like one of my biggest regrets, like in the 21 years that I've lived, one of the biggest regrets that I don't know, accumulated is throwing my dolls out, specifically my Monster High dolls. I like, even though I know that like I wouldn't play with them per se, I just hate that I don't have them anymore. And so I was sort of like, well, I feel like when I do get older and I still have all my manga, I think it would be really cool to be able to like reminisce on the things that I liked when I was younger. I think they look nice to like put on display if I wanted to do something like that. But also I just think it would be pretty cool to be like, oh yeah, I was really into manga when I was younger, and now I have 50 volumes of stuff that like I don't read anymore, but I'm still sort of happy I have it. And even if I was still into it, I was thinking about it, I have a coworker who is at least 35. I don't know how old he is exactly, but I'm pretty sure he's in his 40s. So I'm gonna say at least 35. And he's really into like sci-fi sort of bits of media. He collects Funko Pops, comic books. He goes to conventions, I'm pretty sure. And never has it ever crossed my mind that like he shouldn't be into that at his age. So it's really like, it really won't matter if I'm an adult and I still like manga. Like it's, I don't know, I feel like it's just a silly and irrational thing to do. But I feel like I often sort of have thoughts where I'm like, there are certain things that everybody is allowed to do except me, and there are things that only I'm allowed to do. So yeah, with all that out of the way, we're gonna get into the collection now. I counted very haphazardly, and I think I have 24 volumes of manga. So yeah, we're gonna get into them. And then like as I was looking at them, I remembered some funny stories that go along with some of these. So we're gonna get into it. Okay, starting with what I believe is the first manga I ever acquired. I have 2 volumes of Blue Exorcist. First of all, I had no idea I had 2 of these. I thought I only had 1. I now keep track. I have a little note of all the manga that I own. I have no idea how I got my hands on these. I do, but I don't. So I'm like, oh, this has to have been, or maybe it wasn't, but I have a little drawing in here because I had a friend in like 6th grade who also really liked Blue Exorcist, as you can see. And this is dated January 10th of 2017. Was I in 6th grade? I was in 6th grade in 2017. Where was I going with that? Oh, and so if I put it in here, I assume that I had it at that point. I don't know, Blue Exorcist, I guess, was one of the first anime that I really got into. But back to what I was saying, I have no clue how I got these, because in 6th grade, I didn't have any money. And I had like no form of transportation. So I'm like, I must have gone to the Neshaminy Mall specifically and bought these. But I'm also like, well, I don't know how I got there because my parents most certainly would not have let me buy these. So I must have been with you, ? But I'm not too sure because I don't remember. But I'm like, obviously that's how I must have gotten them. But I remembered a really funny story. I think about, is it this? I don't know which volume I did it in. I think it's this one. I keep hearing people walking around and it's scaring me. So one day I was in 7th grade, and 7th grade was a strange time in my life. I worked in childcare for a while, so I know there are children who were like kookier than me, but when I think back on it, I was a pretty kooky kid. And I was going through my emo phase at this point. So in English class, my teacher used to have us, he would like give us a sort of prompt for a sentence, and we would write the sentence on a little whiteboard and we would hold it up so he could look at everybody's whiteboards and see if you followed the prompt correctly. And based on what I wrote, I'm gonna assume that he wrote something along the lines of write a sentence with a personal pronoun as the subject, because I wrote I want to die on mine, and I held it up for the whole class to see, and he was not amused. He was not amused. So he called home, of course, because teachers are mandated reporters and whatnot. He called home and my parents were also not amused. And I remember my parents yelled at me for like 40 some minutes. I don't know why they yelled at me, ? But I specifically remember my dad being like, you need to get all your shit with your witchcraft in it and give it to me. And I knew they were talking about my manga, number one, because I knew I talked to my mom about the plot of Blue Exorcist, because this guy is like the son of the devil, but he's being raised by a priest. I don't know. I forget. And she had like made a joke about, because I went to Catholic school, so she had made a joke about like getting me exercise or something like that. And then like manga are read backwards per se. And I remember after he said that, I ran up here because I thought he was gonna immediately take them. I ran up here because I knew on one of the pages, when one of my favorite characters made their debut, I had written like daddy with a heart pointing to him in like red ink, and I needed to cross that shit out. And I did a great job of covering it up because I can't find it. Like I see, like I knew I wrote in here because I see different times where I had like written something down, but I cannot find it for the life of me. But I see it right here. I wrote it twice, I suppose, because I wrote it right there. But I knew I wrote it at another time in like red pen specifically. I think I wrote in all my manga in red pen, which is bad. I don't write in my manga anymore. But anyway, moving on. I have the first volume of Noragami. I also don't know how I got this, and I don't know if it'll come up on camera, but there is a very faint heart around his face because I really liked Yato when I first read Noragami, but I watched the anime and unfortunately I don't really like Noragami, and that really breaks my heart because I really like this manga, I'm pretty sure. But as you can see on camera, I'd assume the spine to this is obliterated because like it, and even like the page I'm about to show you is coming out. And that's because me and my friend, I used to bring this to school with me all the time, and me and my friends used to laugh at this panel so much, and I don't know why. I mean, like I was like 12, like I'm sure I thought it was the funniest thing in the world, but I don't know, it's silly. But also, as I was going through this, I wrote in this so much, and there was one thing I was looking at that really gave me a giggle. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I think it's on the, hold on. What did I? Oh yes, I found it. So as you can see, he is under her sheets, right? And right there I scribbled in red pen, yo, if I were her, I'd be like, hey, what's your Snapchat? And hey, what's your Snapchat is written in cursive. Again, I went to Catholic school. So silly times. I don't know what my deal was. I was just a silly kid. I don't know. I think that, I mean, I don't know what type of order I put these in. I know those are my oldest manga. I assume, I guess they're in order from oldest to youngest. I'm pretty sure. Next, I have 2 volumes of Owari no Seraph, and I was a bit confused when I first looked at these because I hate this man and he cool. I don't have any problems with him, if I remember correctly. But usually when I buy manga, I usually buy volumes that have my favorite characters in them. Like if all my favorite characters get together for whatever reason, if one of my faves has like a big happy moment for them, or there's like a specific like art in it that I really like. And I think, I don't remember what happens in Owari no Seraph. Like I'm sure I bought these 2 because these are 2 volumes next to each other. So 12 and 13. And so I'm assuming that something really funny happened. Oh, I think I remember. I'm pretty sure. Can I, oh, okay. I turned to this page. I said, what the fuck? I'm pretty sure. So this guy right here was my favorite character. And I think he was just coming to terrorize people. I think that's the only reason why I bought these 2. But now that I'm going through them, I think a lot of my characters had just so happened to be in this volume because I'm seeing a lot of my faves. I'm not seeing my main fave though. Hold on. Uh-oh. Where is he? You know who I'm looking for too. That's the crazy part. Oh, I'm finna throw up. There he is. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Okay. Silly. Next, I thought something was in here. I have 4 volumes of Black Butler. And here's something funny. Number 1, I don't know which volumes these are because fun fact about me, I don't know how to read Roman numerals. I like kind of can. Like I know I learned about it in grade school, but like when I see Roman numerals, like I really got to take a second. Like this is 2 X's and 3 I's, so I'm assuming that that's 23. But then like this, I'm like, it's XVI, and I'm like, I have no idea, like who is V? So anyway, like whatever. But anyway, I was looking at these And I have the first volume of Black Butler, and that strikes me as odd because I usually don't buy the first volume of a manga unless I had like bought it specifically to read it, like physically read it. Because like for the aforementioned reasons that I buy manga, I usually just don't end up buying the first volume because nothing is fucking happening. And then I was also looking at it, and this volume is significantly more beaten up than my other ones, which leads me to believe that I bought it at a different time. However, I got into Black Butler at the end of my sophomore year, going into junior year, I'm pretty sure. And I know I bought all of these at the same time, which means I also would have bought this at the same time, but I didn't. And I'm also like, I don't know how I got this, is what I'm trying to say. I think somebody gave this to me, but I don't know who would have done that. And I also, like, I don't think I knew anything about Black Butler when I read it for the first time. So I'm like, why would I have this? I have no idea how I got this. Like I was saying for my other manga, like obviously I would have had to go to the store and like buy them. But this one, I'm just like, I don't think I bought this. I think somebody gave it to me, but I don't know who would have done that. But anyway, I bought these 3 volumes specifically because I was trying to buy a whole arc. Hold on. See, I can't tell. I don't know which is which. I think I'm missing like 2 volumes in between these, but I was trying to buy an entire arc because I thought it was really cool. It's called the public school arc. I don't remember the plot of Black Butler. I don't remember why they were going to school, but they were. And they do like a talent show sort of thing. There are all these really cool characters who show up, and I thought it was really cute and interesting. So I wanted to buy the whole arc, but I remember I specifically bought these after I quit my first job because in my head I was like, well, I'm not going to have any more money coming in, which means I need to be a little more wary of how I'm spending my money. So maybe I should buy a few cute little things that will entertain me for a while so I won't be inclined to spend money. So I bought 3 volumes of Black Butler in the hopes that I wouldn't buy any more books. And I bought Howl's Moving Castle when I bought these, like the Howl's Moving Castle book, in the hopes that I wouldn't be inclined to buy any more books or manga when I didn't have any money. And it worked because I didn't buy manga for a long time after that. But now I have 2 volumes of Jujutsu Kaisen. I think Jujutsu Kaisen was one of those manga that sort of got me back into reading manga. I started, and I'm never gonna shut up about this, I started Jujutsu Kaisen back in like 2019, I think right before the Shibuya arc came out. And I just hate what it has turned into. I really do. So I only have 2 volumes. I bought this volume, I'm pretty sure Choso is the character right here, and he looks crazy in this art. I promise he looks a lot better in the manga. Makes his debut this arc, but also the 3 main characters, Yuji, Nobara, and Megumi, have a little teamwork moment together in this volume, and I thought that was super cute. And then this volume, during this arc, my favorite character Megumi does a few cool things. The thing, however, is that Jujutsu Kaisen is just not a good manga. And I am heavily biased when I say that because Megumi is my favorite character, and all throughout, well, no, not all throughout it, but when I read Jujutsu Kaisen, I had always sort of hoped that like Megumi, who is like this reserved stoic type of person, would who is like going through a lot, he's, you know, the emo boy or whatever, would have like this huge breakout, developing moment, and he would get this just beautiful moment to himself where, I don't know, something great happens to him, and it like literally never comes. Gege just hates Megumi so badly. So I don't think I'll buy any more volumes of Jujutsu Kaisen because I don't know, I'm just not in the mood to watch Megumi suffer. Because when I was there, well, I wrote down a few more volumes that I wanted to buy of Jujutsu Kaisen, and I was going through them, and I was like, it's the volumes where like, I don't want to spoil anything, but like, it's just something bad happens to Megumi. And he ends up being okay, but like at that point I like didn't give a fuck. Like I spent the whole series waiting for him to develop as a character, and you know, because there's a whole point where his mentor is talking to him and he's like, you have so much potential, you have such a great power and you don't use it. And I thought that at some point he would have his moment. He never gets it. Okay, like whatever, I hate this fucking manga. Whatever, I'm gonna talk about a manga I like now. I have 5 volumes of Bungo Stray Dogs. I don't know if I will ever buy a full series, but if I do, it will inevitably be Bungo Stray Dogs. The only reason I don't have more volumes is because whenever I go to the store, they always have the same ones, and there are specific volumes that I want because I want 2 specific arcs and I want to buy those first before I expand and buy the whole series. And they just usually don't have the ones that I need to continue my collection, so I end up not buying any. But yeah, I have 5. I have 15, 16, 18, 19, and 23. So I think I'm trying to buy 13 through 25, question mark? I can't remember. But yeah. Yeah. A lot of my favorite characters make their debut during this time. This is also where the Bungo Stray Dogs plot sort of stops making sense. But my faves are there, so I don't really care what's going on with the plot. I'm having a good time. So yeah. I don't know. I also thought about buying all of, I gotta say One Piece. I will never have it in me to read One Piece. One Punch Man. I think I was gonna buy the whole damn manga, or like a pack of the volumes and just read it physically. I never got around to doing that. I think because the pack was like $100 some. And I think that was after I quit my job, and I was like, that is not a smart decision to make. But I watched One Punch Man every day for a while, and I don't remember shit, but it was funny. It's a funny little show. But yeah. Next, I have volume 5 of Sakamoto Days. That's the manga that this poster is from. I think one cool thing about reading manga that you don't get from watching anime is seeing how the authors or the artists, because sometimes the person who writes the manga and the person who actually draws the pictures are 2 different people, but in Sakamoto Days this is the same person. How their art style develops over time, because I was looking at this, where is it? Hold on. Okay. I'll use this picture. Oh no, that's a bad one though. Where is the, oh, okay, this is a good picture. And I was looking at, this is Shishiba, that's his name. This guy, and on that poster, and I was just seeing how different they look. I think especially in manga like Bleach, you can really see this, because Bleach, they are all so funny looking in the beginning. And like in Blue Lock, I don't know, I just think it's really funny to see how like everybody's low-key kind of ugly in the first few volumes, but I think it's really funny. So yeah, I want to buy a lot more Sakamoto Days because I think it's really cute. It's like all my favorite tropes in one manga. Like there's, I don't know, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily a fan of like action, but I read a lot of shonen manga, which would like what's the word? Which would contradict saying that I don't like action. But it is a shonen manga and there is fighting involved in it, and I think it's pretty entertaining. But there's also like a lot of found family. It's silly. It's just like a silly little thing to read. And I quite enjoy it. And I don't think I'll have to worry about any of my favorite characters dying, question mark, maybe. I think one of them is dead actually. Maybe I shouldn't say that. But yeah. Anyway, next I have, oh, this isn't in order because I bought these before I bought that volume of Sakamoto Days. But anyway, I have 2 volumes of Blue Lock. This is volume 13 and 14. And I bought these volumes specifically because, listen, I know he's a little funny looking. I know that. But I love this man. And in these, I was going to buy another entire arc of Blue Lock because there's this one, Blue Lock is about soccer. And there's this one match where like a lot of new characters come in, and it's just like all the characters are sort of interacting together, and I don't know, I think that's really cute. That's why I buy a lot of my favorite manga. And this is where they make their debut, and you see them interacting with other characters that are there before they show up, and I like those people too. And I am not the biggest fan of sports anime, but I feel like I liked reading about the matches in Blue Lock. I actually found them to be quite interesting most of the time. Sometimes the main character sort of zones out in the middle of the match, and I find that to be really annoying, but it's not that bad. I feel like that's a given with any sports anime or manga. But yeah, but also I think on the I don't think who is on volume 15? On some of the volumes, there are just characters that I think are ugly and that I don't like. So I'm holding back on buying them for a little bit, but it's okay. Almost done. Next, I'm missing a volume. It's right here. I'm gonna put that right. I'll put it right here. Okay. Next, I have 3 volumes of Tokyo Ghoul. This one is Tokyo Ghoul. This one is Tokyo Ghoul RE. They're essentially, it's the same characters. It's just a slightly different story. I recently reread, well, no, I watched the Tokyo Ghoul anime twice. I read the manga once, and then I read RE once, and that was my first time ever interacting with RE, because the anime, I think, takes a huge dive, like it completely goes away from what's in the manga, so I didn't want to watch the RE anime. I bought the first volume of Tokyo Ghoul before I started reading it, because I knew I was really gonna like Tokyo Ghoul. I just didn't know which volumes I wanted to get specifically, so I just got the first volume. I also think they only had like 4 volumes there, and that broke my heart a little bit. But yeah, I was a little nervous that it was mostly going to be like nostalgia points for Tokyo Ghoul, because I think Tokyo Ghoul was also one of the very first anime that I really got into. I remember watching Tokyo Ghoul and Attack on Titan in like very close succession, and I feel like Attack on Titan was the first anime I really got into, and I really also liked Tokyo Ghoul at the time. I don't know, I just feel like if I were to write my history down and I were to put like eras of my life, there would definitely be an era that is like characterized by being into Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul, and Mystic Messenger. Like that was like that was a time. That was an interesting time. That also took place during 6th and 7th grade, interestingly enough. That's probably why I was so fucking kooky. But yeah, I love Tokyo Ghoul. And then I have RE Volume 1, because I actually bought this volume when I finished Tokyo Ghoul, because Tokyo Ghoul RE takes place after Tokyo Ghoul. So when I finished the Tokyo Ghoul manga, I bought this one, and I physically read the first, 10 chapters, because usually I pirate my manga. And then I have RE Volume 7, and the other day I went to Barnes & Noble, and I wanted to buy, I dropped it. I wanted to buy Tokyo Ghoul Volume 14. Both this volume and Tokyo Ghoul Volume 14 involve Kaneki and his best friend Hide meeting up again. So TLDR for what Tokyo Ghoul is about, I'm sure you know, but so essentially Kaneki, well, ghouls are humans, creatures that look like humans that eat other humans, right? But you can't really tell until like when they get hungry or they're about to eat somebody, their eyes turn a different color, and then you know they're a ghoul. So Kaneki turns into a half ghoul, and he doesn't want to tell his best friend Hide, because he like can't come to terms with it himself, and he's worried about Hide judging him or whatnot, right? And then at the end of, I think, Tokyo Ghoul season 1, I'm sure you've seen the video. If you at some point, if you are an anime fan, like, I'm sure you've seen this video of Kaneki like carrying Hide because Hide gets injured or whatever, but that's not what happens in the manga. So where was I going with this? I like lost my train of thought. I like said something that I didn't mean to say, and then anyway. Volume 14 is when they meet up again after having been separated for so long, and Kaneki is in his ghoul form, and he meets Hide, and I forget what he does, but he does or says something to imply that he doesn't want Hide to see him, or like he doesn't want Hide to know that he's a ghoul. And they just have, you know, their cute little moment where Hide is like, dude, you're my best friend. Of course I knew something was wrong with you, dummy. And it's really cute. And then like in the anime, I think he gets shot. And that's why Kaneki is carrying him to get help. But in the manga, Hide actually lets Kaneki eat half of his face. So he can like restore some energy and keep doing what he was doing. Because there was a lot of shit going on. I think Hide had joined like this human association to fight ghouls, but he joined the association so he could find Kaneki. Like it's a whole thing. And I didn't explain it well, but I'm sure you'll know what I mean. Moving on. But they didn't have volume 14, and they didn't have the other manga that I wanted that I'm going to talk about in a second. And that broke my heart a little bit, but it's okay. Next, I have volume 34 of Hunter x Hunter. And then this is Crollo on the front. This is another thing that I'm going to talk about in a second, because I have another volume, Hunter x Hunter. Seeing how artists, because Togashi story and art, yeah, so Togashi does the art and the story for both Hunter x Hunter, and Crollo does not look like this in the beginning. And I think this volume came after Togashi had taken a pretty long break, and he just draws Crollo a lot differently, and I thought that was really interesting. But also, I bought this secondhand from someone in Alabama on eBay, and I bought it when I submitted my farm school applications, and I bought my Chanyo album. Yeah, and I think it's super cute. In this volume specifically, Crollo and Hisoka, that strange clown man, get in a fight, and Crollo whips his ass. And I loved it. Being a shonen manga fan, I think it's much better to watch the fight scenes in motion. I feel like when you're reading them, they can get pretty repetitive, pretty boring. You sort of have to fill in the blanks a lot for like what's going on, especially in scenes like Sakamoto Days, where there's like close combat sort of fighting type of things, because you just really, you see like the motion lines, you know what the characters are doing, but like it's not as dynamic as watching it. But I feel like Togashi does a great job of making the fight seem fluid, even though it's like still images, and I thought that was pretty cool. But also, I know Hisoka and Crollo are gonna fight again pretty soon in the manga, and I think Crollo is gonna die, and that really scares me. But I'm gonna act like if he does die, I'm just gonna pretend that it didn't happen, because I don't know, I won't be able to deal with that. Anyway, moving on. Next, I have volume 4 of Chainsaw Man. I wanted to buy volume 9, but it's okay. Aki's on the cover of this volume. That's why I bought it. Aki's on the cover, and then that's Aki again over there. I wanted to get volume 9 because, well, first of all, I'm rereading Chainsaw Man, and I'm going to get very emotional probably when I say this. This is my second time obviously this is my second time reading Chainsaw Man, and the first time I read it, well, volume 9 is the volume that Aki dies in, spoiler alert. And the first time I read it, I was really going through it. And so I was sort of reading it to like take my mind off of things, but I wasn't like absorbing anything. I wasn't taking anything in. So when Aki died, I was upset because he died, but I didn't really understand like the circumstances around it. This time, however, because I took my time reading Chainsaw Man, and then like I was reading it when I was on break, so I could take as much time as I wanted to with it. When he died again, I don't know, it just really broke my heart. But also in that volume, as I was saying earlier, I love the found family trope, and Aki, Denji, the main character of Chainsaw Man, and Power, the girl with the devil horns, I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. They are forced to live together. Their boss forces them to move into Aki's apartment. And they have quite a few cute moments together. It's also when you get into Aki's backstory, and I very clearly love Aki very much. So yeah, not only did I buy this because he's on the cover of it, but usually in the manga he has his hair in what they sort of call a top knot style. But here, because he's in the hospital, I forget what happened. Oh yes, okay, I remember. He ends up in the hospital, but he has his hair out and he looks so cute. So yeah, I just think he's a big cutie patootie. Moving on to my most recent, well, I bought the both of these at the same time. Because again, I wanted volume 9 of this, and then I was going to buy volume 14 of Tokyo Ghoul, and I couldn't get my hands on either. So I bought volume 4 of Chainsaw Man, and I got volume 10 of Hunter x Hunter. I want to buy the whole York New arc, and that's essentially, I don't know if you know anything about Hunter x Hunter, but Crollo is the head of this group called the Phantom Troop, and it's actually really, really cute. Oh, now that I think about it, I want to buy those volumes. So essentially, they're like childhood friends, or like most of them are. They're childhood friends. They grow up in a pretty rundown area, and they're all orphans, and they start as like theater kids, and I think that's pretty cute. But now they're a group of thieves and murderers, which I mean, I love that. And this is the starting arc where most of them make their debut, and they're trying to like plan a heist, and Gon and Killua are, you know, trying to stop them and whatnot. So yeah, I don't think Crollo makes his debut in this volume, but I wanted to point out how different Crollo looks in the beginning versus towards the end of it. And then also, like, obviously, especially with like older manga, it's not like a 1 to 2 year difference, and it's like tens of years sometimes types of difference. So obviously they're gonna look different, but I still find it cool nonetheless. So this is Crollo in volume 34, and this right here is Crollo in volume 10. I just like, I don't know, he looks so different, but I think it's cool. So yeah, that is my entire manga collection. This is my second time recording this video. I filmed it like 2 days ago, and I didn't like it, so I deleted it. But I don't know, I was thinking about it, and I was like, I do want to film this though. I do want this to be something I can look back on. So I'm glad I did it now. I don't know if I have anything else to say. No. So I'm not complaining in this video, but I most certainly will be complaining in my next video, because I started planning it out because I have a few little stories to tell, and then I went shopping, so I have a few things to show. So yeah, I'm just waiting to be able to make a whole video. I think I probably could. It'd only be like 10 minutes long though. Not 10, like 20 minutes long though. I guess I'll end this video on a pretty silly note. This man right here, I was talking about him earlier, his name is Shishiba. Ignore Nagumo. He looks insane right here. I'm putting my hand over him. What was I saying? Oh, I want him. I don't trust blonde people. I talk about this all the time. I talk about this more than I like to admit. I do not trust blonde people. Natural blondes or dyed blondes, like they are not trustworthy people. I don't trust blonde people. But him, Leon Kennedy, and Cloud Strife, they get a, and Tamaki from Around High School Host Club, they are wonderful, wonderful people. They get a pass. They are trustworthy blonde men. Yeah, that's the note I'm gonna end this video on. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and that's it from me. Bye bye. Oh, I have one more thing to tell you. My cat has been very bad recently. He's on punishment until further notice. That's it. All right, bye bye.